Hello, hello. Welcome to My Wife's Unavailable. I'm your host and trusty life coach, Chelsea B. And this is a place where we gather on an endless quest for meaning and self-exploration with an open mind and an open heart through the concept of personal development. And amongst those brave enough to be curious, we will arrive at the checkpoints in our lives and in this conversation with a sense of purpose. My guest on the quest today is none other than Demar. My Bill, he's back. Say hello, Demar.
What's going on? I'm back.
Yeah, he's back on his own episode for real. No one else is here.
Yeah, I told her to leave the house.
Yeah, like this one's all you. But yeah, and I wanted to do like a special. I was just thinking of themes each month, and I thought about baseball. In March is pretty big, obviously everywhere, but definitely in Arizona. And I thought, I know, like the first person that comes to mind is you when I think about who knows about baseball. I know you're a fan of many sports, but I also know that you have a special interest in baseball. And we've talked a little bit, but you've been to some fields. I know you've been to like some historic fields. And yeah, I just thought we could really get into this conversation. But yeah, so I obviously know about Jackie Robinson, and that might be the only main person I know from baseball history, if I'm being honest. Growing up, we were my dad was like constantly watching the Mariners, so I knew the Ken Griffey era, like not the whole era, but you know, the 90s basically. I know all about that and that team and what was going on.
Yeah,
But other than that, I don't follow baseball all that much. I just like sports in general. But I thought it'd be cool to do something baseball focused. So, yeah, I guess we could just start there. And I don't know if you have any like specific topics of interest in that area, or I don't know, tidbits, trivia that we should know about right off the top of your head.
We could start with Griff because he is probably my all-time favorite person ever. And we got lucky kind of growing up where we did that. We were kind of in the middle of it. And it's very, like with baseball, it's tough because we were in the Pacific Northwest and most of the historic baseball stars come from either the Yankees or the Cubs or the Red Sox, Dodgers, those large market teams. So up there in, upper left USA, we had our own star and he was just the best. And what made him stand out from everybody else is just the way that he played baseball. Just always played hard, but always just looked like he was having the most fun.
Oh yeah.
Right, like a lot of Griffey plays that people still play to this day, whether you're on social media, like everybody knows about the swing and it's a thing of beauty, but it's like roaming over to left field to snag the fly ball from his dad, and different things like that, and joking around with his teammates in the dugout. But he just always played with, no pun intended, a kid like joy, which is why that became his nickname. So yeah, no, Griffey he's one of the ones. He's probably he's a Hall of Famer, but he's in that extra room where like the certain Hall of Famers can go into and other ones can't. He's in that room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Do you have a favorite team?
My favorite team will always be the Mariners.
Okay.
Living in Texas is tough because I have small children and another small child on the way. So the time difference makes it tough. So we watch them if they're on the East Coast because those games start a little bit more time friendly. But when they're playing in Seattle, those games start out here at like 9-10.
Yeah, that's late.
And so I'm either asleep on the couch by the second inning, or it's just not even worth the attempt at that point. So we try to support Major League Baseball wherever we're at. Like I joke with Farah that if we're going to move to a city, there has to be a Major League team close.
Nice.
Because like I will find it. Like there's going to be within an hour, there's going to be a Major League team. So as a family, we like to go to the Rangers games.
Nice.
I avoid the games where the Mariners play the Rangers. I just don't go. Don't go to that one to cause like confusion for my kids. But like Araya, my daughter, she's a like massive Rangers fan now.
Oh,
Like she calls it out every time she sees somebody wearing a Rangers hat or shirt. Unfortunately, we had to explain to her right now that it's the off season and they're not playing right now because every weekend she has to go to the Rangers games, and so we keep telling her she has to wait. But yeah,
that's really cute.
it'll always be the Mariners. They're tatted on my body. It's where I grew up, but
yeah,
it's where like me and your sister, we probably went to like 30 games a year when we lived up there. It will always be that.
Yeah.
The logo is my name.
Yeah.
So Stel means star, and it's an S with a compass star. It's just destiny.
Yeah, for sure. I know I've seen lots of pictures of you guys. Yep, I know you about your tat. And I just feel like, yeah, I mean, that's why you came to mind. When I was thinking about baseball, I was like, okay, I need to have Demar on because he's the baseball guy. So, do you have a favorite player right now?
Yeah, I do. My favorite player is actually Mookie Betts. He plays for the Dodgers, but I just like that he can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So he can play right field, comes down, plays second base. He'll play shortstop. He'll hit wherever in the lineup. Like he'll just do whatever to help the team. And when you're like a superstar player at one position, right? Like you're an MVP at right field or whatever, it's just incredibly cool to see somebody like so selfless and willing to like move positions.
Yeah.
Sometimes like ego can take over and you don't want to move. If you know like you're the best in baseball at this spot, then why would you want to move, right?
Mm-hmm.
As somebody else, but he never says that. He'll switch whether it's during the game. One game he'll be in right field, next game he'll be at shortstop, be at second base. So yeah, Mookie Betts is my favorite player right now.
Nice. That sounds good. It sounds very well-rounded athlete.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotten older now, so like if they got to have some good like human qualities. I didn't care so much when I was younger, but now as I'm like older, it's kind of like there's certain things you like, certain things you don't like, and how they play the game is very important to me now, not just what the end result is.
Yeah, totally. No, I'm with you. I'm like all about sportsmanship, and we as kids were in sports a main reason to build character. And then it's like, so you don't want to get to, performance time or even just down the line in your life and you're an asshole. Like,
yeah, some people get it and some people don't. Like, it's always cool when you, like, I've been to spring training, right? And spring training is great because you have more access to the players than you would at like a regular game, right? The stadiums are smaller, but you also have the ability to go back to the practice fields. Players walk right past you, coaches walk right past you. And so you kind of see who gets it, right? Like and who understands why, like, the fan engagement is important, or, to you, this is your job, but to them, like, this is them seeing a celebrity. This is them saying whatever. And especially when I get it if you don't want to stop for the sweaty dude with binders running you down because you feel like these cards or baseballs are going to be on eBay. I totally get that one, but it's always cool when you see the players like understand what it means for the kids. And like even like for myself, like I'm not a big autograph merchant, right? But there was a time we took Hagen to spring training game in Scottsdale, and I was just holding him. I think he was might have been bearing 2 at this time. And one of the coaches from the Rockies just gave Hagen a baseball.
Nice.
And it's like those little things like that are important, like doesn't have to be much, doesn't even have to, but even just acknowledging, like, especially when you see kids, is always a cool thing to see.
Yeah. Yeah, because then they look up to those players too. And they're going to be watching them like they watch everything else.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of leads into what I hate the most about baseball games is when you see like a grown man try to like out wrestle kids for a foul ball.
Oh. Oh, you
That
mean like a
is,
fan?
yeah.
Yeah.
When you see like, and I get it. It's always like a lot of baseball fans. It's their dream to like leave the game with a home run ball or like a foul ball or all of those things. But I just remember one time me and your sister at the game in Arizona, and in the section over from us, we saw this dude straight shove like four kids out of the way
Oh my gosh.
to get a foul ball. And I was like, they're $40. Like, we're right up here. You can just buy one. It's not that serious. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
we got to learn. But sometimes people get in there and it just takes them back to their childhood and they don't even realize
Yeah.
that they're the adult in the room sometimes. But that when you see that, it's always interesting.
Yeah. I feel like I saw a video, or maybe it was on the news just like very recently, of a woman just like cussing out some man because she was like, that was my sons or my kids. I don't remember. Like, but
No, she took that for her.
oh,
She took it from a little boy
oh, oh my
and acted
gosh.
like it was hers and she had it first. She never did. The boy had it the whole time. The dad gave it to his son. It was his son's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Like it was, yeah, that was a
That was a mess.
wild. Yeah, I'll just like I'll buy the ball if it's that serious to you. Like I'll give you the
Yeah,
$40. Just go get the ball.
for
Like it's
real.
just snatch it from a kid to me is it's certain lines we got to draw.
Yeah.
Like you know, if it comes straight to you and you're an adult and you catch it, like I've seen amazing catches where like dads are carrying their baby like in the carrier
Yeah.
and like he'll snag it and the baby's still sleeping or something like that. Those are great. But when you're going out of your way to like body check four kids to
Yeah.
get to get a foul ball or something,
Yeah.
we're doing a little too much.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. I still haven't been to a spring training game, but it's on my list.
Oh man,
I know. I hope to go this year, actually.
there's certain ones down there to avoid too.
Oh yeah, like what? I'll take
Yeah,
notes.
but don't go to Tempe.
Okay.
That's where the Angels are. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
it's very small, and so even if you're sitting in the outfield seats, it's just everything's on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants, they're in Old Town Scottsdale. It's the same way.
Mm.
One of the best ones to go down to for the experience, if you want to feel like you stepped into somewhere else for 3 hours, go to the Cubs in Mesa.
That's what I thought you were gonna
over
say.
there in Mesa Riverview,
Mm-hmm.
because their concession stands are Chicago food. So whether it's Chicago style hot dogs and drinks and whatever, it just feels like you're somewhere else. So that one to me has the best experience. But for just the easiest ballpark in and out of clean concessions, beautiful place to be, go to the one that the Diamondbacks and Rockies share in Scottsdale.
Mm.
That's the best like facility and field to go to.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't even realize there were any in Scottsdale.
Yeah, two in Scottsdale.
Wait, did I go there one time? I may have had a race that I feel like I had a race that was at some field or started at a field or something. Now I can't. Wait, I was at a baseball. Oh, I'm gonna have to ask Emma. It was like a suicide awareness walk that we did, like a fundraiser walk, and it was around some kind of field. And now I'm feeling like it was in Scottsdale, but I don't remember what field it was. But what was the second one you said? Or who plays there? You said in Scottsdale.
Scottsdale, it's the Diamondbacks and the Rockies.
Rockies. Okay.
But that's a good one to go to. Unfortunately, the Mariner one is really far from like where you are. So they're deep in Peoria.
Oh, Peoria.
Yeah, so they're past the Cardinal Stadium. They're like 15 minutes past the Cardinal Stadium. And then when you get there, like after you go to the Cubs one, you wish all of them were a little bit more like homey. Like I would have no problem driving to Peoria if there was a little bit more Seattle things that I couldn't get anywhere else. But um, it's very generic when you go in there. It almost feels like an old, those mega like baseball, softball complexes in communities. That's kind of what the Mariner one feels like. They share it with the Padres, and it's just kind of there.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah. Is there one in like Glendale or somewhere over there?
There's one in Camelback. So right before you get to the Cardinal Stadium, that's where the Dodgers and White Sox are.
Okay.
And that one is at Camelback Ranch.
Okay.
Just Glendale.
Thinking of another one too, but it may not have even been Major League. It may have been like a minor league thing. But we had a race, or maybe it was the bubble run or something. We had some kind of race that like we parked there and then it started like across the street. I don't know. But cool. Wait, have you been to the Cubs Stadium?
Yeah, spring training.
No, in Chicago.
In Chicago, no. So it was on the list. We were gonna go, then COVID hit, and then that whirlwind. So me and Farrah always had a goal to hit all 30. See all 30 teams play in person, and then see all 30 stadiums. But then COVID, and then, as you know, I've rapidly had children back to back to back.
Been rapidly reproducing.
Yeah, so it's been on hold for a little bit. And funny story, when we were in Kansas City and we were going to the game there to go to that stadium, we were looking at the schedule with our friends, and we're like, hey, there's a game in St. Louis, which is about 3 hours from where they live. And we'll fly into, Kansas City, and then we'll just all convoy over to St. Louis, and we'll stay and then like be in St. Louis and like go to one of the games and check that one off. Well, that was in August, and that game was in the first week of May. And now I'm probably going to have my third kid around that time. So that one got kind of put on the back burner for a little bit. But Chicago is definitely one that is on the list because you can also double dip in Chicago.
Oh, meaning what?
So I can go trying to find like a week I can go to where the Cubs are playing at home, and the Chicago White Sox are playing at home.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that I can hit the two stadiums in one trip.
Yeah, that's cool. I also want to go to the Cubs someday. I love going to baseball games. And as you know, my friend Maggie lives in the Chicago land. But we were supposed to go last year, and then we had to cancel our trips, just financial reasons. But it's still on my list to go like towards the end of the baseball season, like the regular season, and get maybe hopefully some fall colors too up there. So like towards the end of September. And then probably call it a birthday trip because, birthday will be right around the corner. But that's also on my list because it just looks so fun. And Maggie's like, it's a totally different experience than going to other baseball games. So yeah, I hope we both get there someday.
Yeah, when you go to some of these places that have like historic baseball teams, you'll say, so you got the Cubs and the Red Sox. Like even when me and Farrah went to Fenway,
yeah,
it is totally different than any other stadium that I've been to at that point. Even to this, all the ones that I've been to, there's nothing like Fenway. Like the whole block shuts down on game day. And like they check your ticket before you walk onto the block.
Nice.
So it's almost like every home game is a block party, and and you're just able to go into all of these places like around the stadium. But Fenway is like that, and I've heard Wrigleyville in Chicago is kind of that same type of vibe. So yeah, that one's definitely high on the list I want to go to.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Fenway Park also looks so cool. Like, yeah, it's definitely the historic value to it that just is, it's just cool. It's appealing. It's like nostalgic. It's, you know, like this American pastime kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah.
And Fenway Park is, when you walk into it, it's kind of insane because it feels like you walked back into time. Like it feels like you jumped in a time machine and went back 40 years. Like so many times now you have like these newer stadiums that everything is state of the art and everything is like these just massive, beautiful buildings, but they all feel kind of cookie cutter and the same. They just change the graphics around where when you go into Fenway, there's areas where you have to duck your head because the ceilings are still low.
Oh my
Or
gosh.
like even when you go into the bathroom, it looks like a bathroom from like a 1974 like middle school bathroom. Like it's not like it is. They still have low ceilings. Like it's pretty much like untouched
Yeah.
from like the original build of it, and it just has like these certain like hidden elements into it to where there's a bar restaurant you can go to in center field. It's called Bleacher Bar.
Uh-huh.
And if you go there before the game, they open, which is almost like a big garage door, and you can just sit there and like watch batting practice, like from like your seat in the bar.
Oh, wow.
And like during the game, they have to shut the garage door, but there's little holes in it. So people try to peek through the holes to like watch
Yeah.
the game in there and stuff like that. Yeah, it has little pockets like that, or like a Fenway Frank, which is just a hot dog, but it's on white bread.
No, it's
But
not.
I swear, I
Oh my
swear, but
goodness.
the bread is molded to be like a bun, so it's like pre-folded, like it's been sitting in a box for forever, and
Yeah.
like, but that's the Fenway Frank, and it's yeah, it's one of those
Wow.
places that it's like it feels like baseball as soon as you walk in there.
Wow. That's cool. So that bar, it's like field level? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's
So
what I was picturing.
yeah, it's honestly it's this little cutout that's in center field, but you walk into it from the back of the stadium, and then you only see the stadium when that garage door is open.
Mm-hmm.
Then they
Wow.
have on the same property, there's another bar. It's called a Dugout Bar. And you walk down, so you're on the street level, and you walk down like 2 flights of steps, and you're underneath Fenway.
Oh, cool.
So there's like secret access into Fenway from this place and all of that stuff. Um, but yeah, it's they just have so many things around it. Lobster rolls are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's been my favorite one so far.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds amazing. And there's something just like really like beautiful about a baseball field.
Yeah,
The green and the dirt and I don't know, the shape. Like, I don't know. It's just
it's like going to somebody's house and they have like the perfect lawn.
yeah. The
Or
awe.
you go to somebody's like backyard barbecue and they have like the best grass in the backyard.
Yeah.
Like it just yeah, there's just something that's so nice about it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Um okay. Well, I was doing a little bit of Googling before this. Not
Mhm.
like right before this, but before we were recording. And I was just looking some things up because like I said, I didn't really know a lot, and I thought to myself, there's a lot of Black history in baseball that I especially don't know about. Like I already don't know a lot about baseball, and then there's a lot about Black history, and I was like, you know, I am first off, I hated history like growing up in school. It was my least favorite. Didn't help that I had the worst teacher, like the most boring teacher, probably the oldest teacher at school too. But hated it. But now that I'm older, I really like learning about different things in history. Obviously the hard things to learn are not that fun because I'm also very diplomatic and really passionate about equality, not just for equality's sake, but for the impact it has on people, communities, like all that stuff. So when I learn about the hard things, it's just it takes a little bit of a toll on me sometimes. But anyway, so what I'm getting at is the basically just the segregation of blacks in baseball, but then also the integration and, you know, the kind of like course that we've taken in history and to make it is what it is today. I should have looked this up, but I'm not even sure like what is like, are there a lot of black people that play baseball nowadays? I don't even know. Like, is it still
Not
pretty,
anymore, no.
you know? Yeah.
But this time it's for different reasons
Okay,
than it
so
was
what are
back then.
those?
Yeah. It's more economical separation.
Okay.
So it's hard for a lot of families to afford baseball. Like most of the travel ball teams can cost a family anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 a year
Yeah.
to play baseball, and it's easier, right? Like if I buy one basketball and there's one park around, 10 kids can play,
Yeah.
right? And so I can spend $25 and you can play basketball all day. For baseball, the bats are $400. The gloves, the good gloves, are anywhere from $200 to $400.
Mm-hmm.
Your cleats are $100, and we didn't even get to. You need a bucket of balls. You need baseball pants. Like it costs so much to even start playing baseball
Yeah.
at that level, and then now everything is less play in the community. It's more travel ball select teams,
Yeah.
right? So these kids grow up on these way that it's played now. It's almost like you're put through like kind of like a, I like to call it the factory, where you play on these select ball teams in these tournaments against other select teams. But like we grew up in Washington, right, where it rained all the time. A lot of the kids that played baseball for the high school that we went to, they always went to San Diego for tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have airfare, and then you have tournament fees, and then you have all of that stuff. So like, it's just really expensive to get into baseball now.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in urban areas, there's not a lot of that extra income for people to play baseball.
Mm-mm.
And it's not invested in the inner city as much as it is in other countries. So
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of MLB teams, they have academies or facilities that they've built in other countries where starting from 13, 14 years old, you might be in the Mariners Academy in the Dominican Republic, where you do 10% of school and then you basically practice baseball the other 90% of the time. And you live there, eat there, like everything.
Wow.
With the hope of like making it to the league. So it's evolved into something to where like it's taking away a lot of opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Like most MLB baseball players come from high middle class or higher families.
Yeah. Dang, I never thought about that, about like you just need one basketball for 10 kids to play. I mean, because even like, yeah, basketball shoes are important, but you don't need them to play basketball.
You can get
but you need,
you can get around without
but you
them.
need cleats to play baseball, or you're going to be slipping and like getting injured and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you need a glove, or the game's not going to go very far. And
yeah.
You also need multiple kids to actually have like a functional game, right? So it's just a lot more resources are needed to play baseball, and a lot of those resources don't reach the inner city. So there's been a steady decline in Black participation in baseball, and also too like the mentality of it, right? So you can get drafted first overall in baseball, and you could spend 4 years in the minor leagues, and then you make it to MLB, and then you got to play another 6 years before you're eligible for like a contract.
Dang.
Right, and get the big extension where I can play high school basketball. I can go D1 college school for 6 months, drop out of school, enter the draft, and if I'm a top 10 pick in the NBA, then I've already made 20 million. And then 4 years later, I can make 180 million, and like this and that. So it's mentality is also different.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like you gotta like love baseball to like stick through years
Takes
of
forever.
getting there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always interesting because when you hear about like the massive contracts in baseball, right? Like, oh my God, this guy made $700 million, which is true. But then he's like the 1% of the 1%, where most people play for 3 years and they make the league minimum. Like
Yeah.
that's the majority of baseball players, right? They get replaced after 3 years and this and that for another person or things like that too. So it's just how the sport is set up um, economically from I think from adolescence through.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. And I know some people that their kid plays softball and they're basically like, we're not going on any trips. We're not doing anything because we're all the money's going into softball and all the time's going into softball. So
Yep.
it's like the same thing.
Yeah, it's a full family commitment, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not just you get to go play and have fun. Like it's a full family commitment, and a lot of families are just not able to make that commitment, so
Yeah.
that opportunity is just not there.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Well, you mentioned some things. Actually, first I want to ask you about cuz like I said, there's just a lot that I don't know about. But as I said before, I know who Jackie Robinson is. That's a
Mm-hmm.
big name I know. First black player in the Major League Baseball, and I think it was for the Dodgers.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I can like see the uniform, so I was like blue and white. I think it's Dodgers. um,
This was the Brooklyn Dodgers at the time.
oh, see, boom, didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that. I was
Yeah, the
just thinking
Brooklyn
L.A.
Dodgers. No, so the Dodgers were in Brooklyn, and it was the New York Giants before they were the San Francisco Giants.
Wow, that's just
Yeah.
crazy too. How teams will just like be purchased and then okay, well now they're across the country.
Yeah, baseball was a heavy East Coast Midwest sport for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the early years.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, so what I didn't know though, actually, let me stay on Jackie Robinson for a minute. Um, basically, there was, let's see, I'm trying to think of the dates. Basically, segregation in baseball, I think, started like 1887 or 8 or something around there because of
Hmm.
some dickhead somewhere.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
But okay, and so then it wasn't broken until Jackie Robinson in 1947.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the dates that I remember and I wrote down, which is just obnoxious and absurd to think about that many years
Yep.
going by. And just 1947 like doesn't feel like it was that long ago,
Yeah, at all.
which is always what just aggravates me is not enough to explain, what's like it literally boils my blood because I'm just like how, but that's probably for another day.
Yeah.
However, before that, so I don't know when the Negro League formed, but it
Uh-huh.
said the internet said it was thriving in between the
Uh-huh.
1920s and 1940s.
Yep.
So, what do you know about all that?
So the Negro Leagues. So we got to remember at this time, it wasn't just baseball that was segregated,
Right.
right? The country was segregated.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it was the water fountains, the restaurants, the bathrooms, it only makes sense that they were going to segregate the sports too, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we can't eat together, then damn sure can't play baseball together, right? So in the South, the Negro Leagues, which really started, it's kind of the heart of the Negro Leagues is in Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, nice.
So the Kansas City Monarchs at that time,
Okay.
and it was a rival league to where you had your Major League Baseball, but then you had the Negro Leagues. And the Negro Leagues was they had black players, they had Latin players, they also did tours. The Negro League would go down to either like Panama City, or they would go to Venezuela, and they would play these games against other like Latin teams and stuff like that. And they would bring some of those Latin stars back um, on those tours to start playing with them. But during the Great Depression, right, baseball started to decline because it was America's pastime, but people had to work, right? It was more hours trying to make up for the money and things like that, because a lot of games were played during the day when the sun was out. The first night baseball games were actually played in the Negro Leagues.
Oh, wow.
So they allowed people to work all day and then come to the games at night.
Nice.
Right. And the major difference at that time between the Negro Leagues and Major League Baseball was the game was played a lot faster. It was played a lot different than what people would recognize, right? There was a lot more trying to steal bases. There was a lot more first to thirds. There was a lot more hit to contact and try to score from home. There was just a lot more movement and excitement in that game. There was a little bit more trash talking, a little bit more different things, but it produced some of the best stars. And then I love the Jackie Robinson story. I wish we told the whole story, because his impact on what it meant for all parties involved is truly is what makes the story amazing. Right? Like I think sometimes we like to tell the part of the story, and I like to call it Disneyfy it, to where like this was it, this was the happy ending and everything was great after this. But there was so much, because there's always consequences to your actions, whether you have good intentions or not, right?
Yeah,
There's
of course.
also there's unseen consequences, cause and effect to everything. And Jackie Robinson going and breaking the color, in professional baseball also led to the decline of the Negro Leagues, because then other major league teams started plucking the stars, right? So some of baseball's biggest names, like the second all-time home run leader in Hank Aaron, he was a Negro League star, and he was playing in the Negro Leagues from, I believe, the time he was 16 years old. And Willie Mays he's a Major League Baseball legend with the Giants, right? This say hey kid, he has the famous over the shoulder catch and all of those things. He was a Negro League star, right? And they started getting Larry Doby, they started getting plucked and going to Major League Baseball, and then that caused a decline in Negro Leagues because their biggest stars were missing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also very important that that barrier was broken down, because it didn't need to be segregated, right? So yeah, there's a lot with that. 1947 was the year that he broke the barrier, but 1954 is the year that there was an influx of black players and they started to be stars. And it started to really, really change the game. There's actually a really good book on it. It's called 1954.
Nice.
But it talks about those who came after Jackie and how the league really started to turn.
Yeah.
Because after Branch Rickey brought Jackie up, and they went through a tumultuous few years, things started to turn a little bit. And because Jackie was so good, that people's hunger to win outweighed kind of what they felt, or societal pressures, I guess you'll say.
Yeah.
In those situations. So there's really good books on the topic. I always tell people, if you want to read a book about Jackie Robinson, read his.
Okay.
Because everyone else doesn't tell the story right. So I Never Had It Made. It's Jackie Robinson's book. And that is a really good one. Like, a lot of people don't even know he was a 4-sport All-American at UCLA.
Oh, nice.
He didn't even really start playing. He didn't really get into playing baseball again until later in his life. Like when he made it to the majors, he was 32 years old.
Wow.
And so what he did at 32, and if you think if that opportunity was there, he probably would have been in Major League Baseball at 25.
Yeah.
Like, what does his career look like?
Mm-hmm.
But he was in the Army. He was a football player at UCLA, basketball player, baseball player, and ran track.
Wow.
Yeah, and just some of like the most amazing athletes. And then that opportunity came later. And then yeah, it's kind of sad now to see it kind of fizzle out. So like Major League Baseball still does Jackie Robinson Day.
Mm-hmm.
So on April 15th, everybody wears 42 on their back. They wear a special hat. But it's kind of sad when you see the numbers decline year over year of like black partition in baseball and how many blacks are in the major leagues and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure there's a great like economic contributor, like you were saying earlier, because how can there not be?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, do you know who Bud Fowler is?
Bud Fowler, not off the top of my head.
Okay, so as I was looking stuff up, it was talking about how Jackie Robinson was the first black player in the MLB, but I think I was on Baseball Hall of Fame maybe's website or MLB's website. One of those two was talking about Bud Fowler many years prior. Like this was like just before like segregation. I think like 1878 maybe. It said he was the first professional to actually play, or the first black man to play baseball professionally, and it was called the International Association, which was which was a league, a professional league.
Yeah, yeah.
And apparently he didn't play. He played with no glove.
That's pretty sweet.
I was like, okay, that sounds like an interesting decision, but maybe he didn't have one. And he was just like, I want to play.
Sure. Or maybe his hands were just so big he didn't need one.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so that guy came up. I know I also know the name Satchel Paige, but I think I was texting you. I sadly don't know much about him, but I know that I maybe could and should, because I think there are things to tell there.
I think you would like Satchel Paige. I think you would like Satchel Paige because he's a character. Like he is Satchel Paige. So Satchel Paige is regarded in some circles as like one of the greatest pitchers ever.
Okay.
One of the great things about Satchel Paige is no one knows how old he was.
Oh, was he old?
People think he was a lot older than what he told people, and he pitched it way into like past what you would think is normal and all that stuff. But there's so many Satchel Paige stories. So that like there's the president of the Negro League Museum and Hall of Fame, Bob Kendricks. He has a great podcast called Black Diamonds where he just tells Negro League stories and stuff.
Cool.
And his Satchel Paige episode is one of the best. There was a time where Satchel Paige he loved to talk to hitters when they were up to bat, and he told his entire infield to just sit down because this dude's not going to get close to hitting the ball. And he struck him out.
Oh my goodness.
He would tell hitters what pitch was coming and dare them to try to hit it. Oh my gosh. So like there's a scene in everyone, you've seen The Sandlot, correct? Everybody's seen The Sandlot.
Yeah, everyone here better have, or you go watch it right now.
Yeah. Greatest movie ever. The pitcher on the team is wearing the Kansas City Monarchs hat.
Oh yeah, okay.
And when he's telling him, "This is my heater, I dare you to hit it," that is a nod to Satchel Paige because that's what he did all the time.
Oh, that's hilarious. Now I want to go back and watch that.
Yeah, he would name, like, he had one pitch called like the Dipty Doo. And different things like that. And yeah, I know. I think you would. Zatho Page is one I think you would love just because he's a character. But there's always this mystery of how old is he really.
Okay.
Some people think he was pitching well into his 50s when he was like finally made it to major leagues, and got called up. Some people are like, oh no, he maybe in his 40s, but like there's like some Negro League people who are like, I grew up with Satchel and I'm here watching the game and I'm 60 and he's pitching. Like we were in the same, but like grew up together, different things. So yeah, there's always that mystery around it. But like Josh Gibson, the Negro Leagues also had a female pitcher for a couple years.
Oh, cool.
And like was one of the first women to pitch in the Negro Leagues, like against the men. I'll tell you, if you're ever in Kansas City, it's worth it. The Negro League Museum, and if you're lucky on a day that Bob Kendrick is there, you hear some of just the greatest stories in the world, and like that museum is so cool. They have different like short films and take you through the history of everybody. But like Josh Gibson's described as just this specimen, right? Like this, just at this time, nobody's built like this guy. Like he's one of the strongest, just physical, like appearance guys, and he doesn't get credited with all of his hits and home runs. So a couple years back, Major League Baseball merged their record books with the Negro Leagues, but a lot of Josh Gibson stuff was let out or left out. There was rumors that this dude hit 800 plus home runs.
Wow.
And this guy was just an absolute monster, and he's one of the greatest players, or the greatest player that the Negro Leagues had ever seen. But yeah, there's just so much history there that actually leads us to the game that we see today. Like I remember when I learned about the night game thing, like it just blew my mind, like how simple, right? Like it's just something you'd never think about, right? But it was an innovative way to keep people coming to the game because people couldn't come. They called it pastime because you did it during the day. Everybody was home by supper at this point in society, right? So it was, hey, we're gonna put the light fixtures in the back of trucks, and we're gonna crank them up and turn them on, and we're gonna play baseball. And we're gonna play at night, and they still had the crowd. So like while the major leagues were struggling, the Negro Leagues was still like profitable and going crazy, even during the Great Depression, right? Like, and sometimes those quick, innovative ideas are just like very interesting to see.
Yeah.
And know about. That's the stuff about history I like.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated right now just thinking about it. I don't know if I'll ever be in Kansas City, but if I am, I'll definitely.
You might randomly, you might get stuck on a crazy layover and they tell you you're not leaving until tomorrow or something. You just never know.
Yeah, true.
But it's I stumbled in there on accident, right? I went to Kansas City for our friend's wedding. And it was that next day they were doing something with their family I didn't really want to go to. And he was like, hey, you should go. My friend Jordan told me you should go here. So I looked it up. It was 15 minutes away from the hotel, and I hopped in there and went, and I spent 5 hours in there, and it's not that big of a building. It's kind of split to where the jazz like museum is on your right, and then the Negro Baseball Museum is on your left. And I literally spent 5 hours in there, and it was just so much history, so cool to see. They had some of the original uniforms from back in the day.
Cool.
And different things, but yeah, beautiful place.
Yeah. That's another thing I like too is the old baseball uniforms and just like the look of it. When I see like movies and stuff, it's just funny.
Do you know, fun fact, do you know a lot of those in old baseball movies are made in Seattle?
No. How do you know that?
There's a company in downtown Seattle. It's called Ebbets Field. Ebbets Field Flannel. Ebbets Field was the name of the stadium in Brooklyn where the Dodgers played. But they are the ones who are hired to make a lot of those uniforms when movies do old baseball movies. So like for Jackie Robinson's movie 42, they made all the uniforms and hats. And part of their thing is they're a retail store that makes historical, whether it's the coaches' dugout jackets or uniform or jerseys, uniforms, and like they make hats like as they were back then. So they make the old wool hats from different things and from that time period and stuff like that.
Dang, that's
So yeah,
cool.
they
And you can go in there and see some of that, or it's just a fact and you have to watch the movies.
no. So they they make it. The company makes it, and sometimes depending on the time of the year, they'll have some of the uniforms like they've made like on display.
Okay.
But that's also like what they sell. So like they have a hat wall, which is like different than going to a lids, which is like a 2026 new era, whatever. They'll have like they'll have the Tacoma Rainiers hat, but it's built like it was then. They'll have the
Okay.
New York Yankees hat, but it looks more like the Babe Ruth, like it's cut, built with real wool, Babe Ruth style than it is like the newer one.
Nice.
Same thing like with the coaches' jackets or dugout jackets the pitchers used to wear. So they make like the real wool plush, like crazy Leatherman style jackets that the teams were wearing back then, like, and all of that too.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love that retro stuff. It's so awesome.
Yeah, it's down there on First Street.
Okay.
First
I mean,
Street.
I've heard of it. I just never, I don't think I ever thought twice about it, but I've definitely heard of that name. But
yeah, I bought the Kansas City Monarchs Satchel Paige hat from them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but like Jackie Robinson was on the Monarchs. Satchel Paige was on the Monarchs. And it's still cool. Like I frequent Kansas City. I've probably I go to Kansas City more than most people. But they still, throughout the city, they still do nods to the Monarchs kind of everywhere. And the one cool thing I always loved about when you're in Kansas City is whether you're at Target or you're at a restaurant or you're just walking around, it's almost like 5 out of 10 people are wearing a shirt that just says KC.
Nice.
And kind of like with the old Monarchs logo, or they're wearing KC with the heart, and that was the Monarchs and those type of things. So it's just kind of cool to see.
Yeah, that is cool. The community loves their team.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, are you ready for some closeout questions?
Yeah, hit me.
Okay. You've gotten these questions before, but it's okay if you have the same answer or different answers.
Well, I'm by myself this time, so I might change.
Okay. What's your best self-care tip or advice?
My best self-care tip or advice. Do what you love. And if it don't move you, don't let it move you.
Ah, I like that.
So I think, especially in today's world, we spend a lot of time doing things that make other people happy. And then after 30 days of doing things like that, we wonder why we're miserable at the end of the month.
Seriously.
I think find what you love and really understand your non-negotiables. And then if it don't move you, don't let it move you. AKA, if you don't want to do something or something is not for you, then don't let it be for you. Don't entertain it.
Yeah.
Right? Like we don't even have to put the energy out there to say that we don't like something.
Yeah.
If it's not for you, just let it be. Right? Like I feel like, especially with social media, we're so quick to express everything we don't like. But then if you ask somebody what's going well or what do you like, the answer is usually slow. They got to think about it. And they feel like that question throws them off.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that. I just wrote that down. If it don't move you, don't let it move you. Great advice. What lights you up?
My family. There's nothing better. Maybe that's why they're happening so much in rapid succession. But from my wife and kids and just everything that we've already done together, like I couldn't imagine going another way and none of it like bothers me. Like you see all the, whether it's TikToks or things about people complaining about their kids or different things, like it's only going to be for so long. Right. And I got one who's teething. I got one who's like potty training. So I've never been so excited for someone to pee on a potty in my life because she's so excited, right? Or
Yeah.
you go through the whole, it kind of just reinvigorates purity in you a little bit, right? Because
Yeah.
you get to watch scenarios you've been in 100 times before you put your own either mental blocks or perceptions on.
Mm-hmm.
So even like my daughter's school best friend, Hannah, every video we get from them at school, Hannah and Rai are together.
Mm-hmm.
They match. You could tell that both their moms be at Target. But it's princess dresses, it's cowgirl boots, but they're just so excited to see each other
Yeah.
without there's no you didn't text me back. There's no BS or whatever. They just truly, the stuff you put on each other as adults,
Mm-hmm.
or you're too busy for me. It's just so pure, like friendship. Like whether they're eating lunch, they're sitting next to each other. When they go to recess, they're always in the car together or going down the slide together or different things to where it's like just seeing that and just being like sometimes you can face the world with just purity and just live and go and let it go from there. Like don't
Yeah.
have no preconceived notions in your head. So
Yeah. Love it.
they light me up.
Yeah. That's awesome. I can see it. Okay, name a great source of joy for you that you've been neglecting lately.
Reading.
Ah, me too, dude.
Yeah, and that's my big 2026 thing is
Yeah.
to read something every day. So like I know your sister's in a book club right now. I got a little jealous. So
Hey, it's not too
try
late
to
to
read
join.
try to read something every day. Because I used to be like when people say, "Oh, I want to read 10 books a year," I'd be like, "That would take me 2 months."
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and so, like every book that you saw in the cabinet was one that I actually read,
Yeah.
and so I just want to get back to that because I've always wanted that library style wall,
Mm-hmm.
like in the office of my house one day, where they're just all stacked up, but I actually read them.
Yeah.
So
Me
just
too.
this year, trying to really get back into reading and finding pockets in my day. Um, to read, which then also makes me be more intentional with my day to create those pockets.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to do one thing to help another area also.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Love it. All right. What's something you'd like to see more of in the world today?
Um, the ability to like agree to disagree and keep it moving.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, like to me right now, a lot of things we live in an all or nothing society. Like you're either all one thing or you're all one thing, and I think we're living in ideal segregation right now, where
Political
where
segregation?
political, but yeah, and I just think that we got to understand that our perception is built up on either our experiences or people we trust experiences that told us things. Right? That's where a lot of perception that we come from. But if you close off your mind to anything, right, then you're just as big a part of the problem.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have to agree, and I can respect where you're coming from. And my job is not to change your mind, right? But as long as you can hear and respect where I'm coming from, then we can move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
totally.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people, it's either like agree with me or get away from me. And I feel like that's just a dangerous place to be because the world isn't black and white. I know we've been talking about segregation a lot, but so much of what we do is in the gray, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in today's society, we have more blended families. whether that's previous marriages with kids or race or whatever you have. We have more different ideals, traditions, like, but that's the beauty of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like the Baskin Robbins would be trash if they had 3 flavors.
Nice.
They give you 31 fucking options for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't tell you when you get 3 scoops, you can only get the same one you had at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason for that. And I feel like too many times now, like mentally, people just want 3 scoops of vanilla and keep it pushing. And that's all they ever want, da 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 da.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like we have so many different, whether it's cultures, this, and this. Like if we just open our mind back up to the world, then
Yeah.
I think
I like
options
it.
would be endless, and people would just be more like go with the flowy.
Yeah.
I feel like today's world, people so ready to be mad and so slow to be sad, like so slow to be happy,
Mm-hmm.
or like don't like people will get made fun of for being joyful.
I know. What the heck?
Like that's crazy. Like if you're too happy, you're a weirdo.
Yeah.
But if you're angry and brooding and you hate everything, then you're the cool guy,
And
right?
you're normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a weird place to be.
Yeah, you're right about that. I like the Baskin Robbins analogy though. All right, what's something you have learned recently? Sorry, I should have probably given you a heads up.
I'm trying to. I guess if I can't remember, I probably didn't learn it that well.
Yeah, right. Or a fun fact,
I,
like I don't know, could be big, could
what
be
I just
small.
learned recently. I don't know, man. I learn shit every day, especially in the parenting world.
Tell us something you've learned about parenting recently.
Again, it's understanding as adults, right? We've kind of discussed away our natural like intuition or gut feeling and kind of like energy and body language and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can either make excuses for it or like go in depth explaining it with words and all of these things, right? But like with kids, especially like I have very young kids, they just pick up on energy shifts and changes. So if I have a work situation and like I work from home and like I get off the call and I don't like it, then my daughter can instantly tell and she'll be like, "Are you okay? Daddy, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah. I probably don't look the happiest right now or those situations." And so learning to really like learning like and understanding my presence around my kids.
Yeah.
And how to like not bring them down unintentionally, right? Like be more cognizant of how I say things or do things or all of those things to make sure that they understand that it's okay and everything's going to be good. So channeling things. I used to be the person to just fire off like a full paragraph of bleeped out words. So I'm trying to correct that and find different ways to channel that, even if I just need to let it out for a second or different things like that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Like emotional regulation, and it's not even just like for your kids, also your wife or just any family, that you're around. But obviously your kids they're absorbing everything, looking up to you, watching everything.
And I think that's why I had a daughter first.
Oh yeah.
Is because she opened up emotional channels that I had dammed off a long time ago. And like to be okay with emotions. Because like if somebody crying and I think it's crazy, like I don't know, I just feel like what the he does. Like Like your sister done rewatched every episode of Grey's Anatomy 5 times. Why are you still crying at the same episode? You know what's gonna happen. Like, what are we doing? And then since I had Rara, I'm a little bit more understanding of it. Like I used to just be like, this is ridiculous. Like, get over yourself. But now I'm kind of like, okay, I get it. Whatever. I'm still kind of like, I don't know why you crying, but
you're trying to, you're trying to support.
Yeah. You do you. Instead of just being like, it's not that serious. But yeah.
Nice. Well, you're doing a great job. Keep it up.
I'm trying, Chels. You know, but every time I do too well, I have another one. Just restart. Like I missed something.
Or maybe it's just like mastering it, you know?
That's true. That's true. Well, like me and Farrah say to each other, you have to have 3 to get to 4.
Okay.
So if the goal is always 4, then we can't be shocked at 3.
That's true. All right.
Yeah, she got me there.
Man. Oh, I love being an aunt, so you can keep them coming if you ask me. Okay, well, thank you.
Get bunk beds for the next 2 years.
Hey, bunk beds are cool. I slept in a loft bed by myself for years until.
Did you hear the keyword there?
Yeah.
Yeah, keyword there is by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the key.
Yeah, but you know what? I liked it up there.
Yeah, we might need bunk beds in 2 separate rooms, like with bio locks on them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because not till. Well, we gotta take like 2 years off.
Okay.
But we'll see. It's usually around the first birthday. So far, it's around the first birthday of the other one. That
we'll see if you actually take time off this time. But thank you for doing this. I know it's your day off, and your kids are napping, so I really appreciate the time that you've given to me and the podcast and this chat. I really liked it. I learned a lot about baseball. So yeah, thanks for being here.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'd also like to thank my lifetime sponsor, which is my mom. She was trying to call me right when we started recording and I didn't answer. So now she knows why.
Mama J.
Yep. If y'all want more from me, you can check out my website at chelseabcoaching.com, or I'm on Instagram at chelseabcoaching. And if you have any feedback or suggestions, please reach out to me because I am always accepting. If you like this episode or the podcast, please like it or share it. Comment on episodes. I feel like no one does that, but please do if you would like to. I'd love to read them. And if you want to sponsor an episode, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/mywifesunavailable. So yeah, until next time, everybody just keep it real out there. I gotta grab my my music. Okay, bye, Demar.
Bye.